Christine Lagarde talking about how the ECB should view the markets, how the markets should be listened to, but not completely. Jean-Claude Trichet, the market is currently expecting around 16 basis points of cuts from the ECB on the 12th. If you look at BTPs, the market is clearly expecting more QE. If you take a look at Italian banks, the market is clearly expecting some sort of tiering to be coming through from Mr. Draghi and the rest of the ECB. Is the market expecting too much?
Well, first of all, of course, as Christine Lagarde said, the central banks have to understand fully, follow fully the market. They are not depending on the market, as well as they are not depending on the governments of any particular influence. They have a medium-term vision, and they have to keep their own credibility in that longer-term, medium-term vision. So we will see what the Governing Council does. One of the reasons why the market is expecting that the ECB will move is due to the ECB itself, because communication of the President of the ECB has been quite clear in the last time. So it's normal that we are observing some expectations. But again, the decision is taken by the Governing Council. They will see all the data, the figures, and they will, I'm sure, decide in the best fashion possible under circumstances which obviously are difficult, not because of the market particularly, even if we see the market very volatile, but because of Brexit, because of the fact that the slowing down of the global economy is absolutely obvious. The slowing down in the US is very clear. And I would say when I look at the last PMI indicator, I see more or less the same slowing down in the US and in Europe, on both sides of the Atlantic. So this is, of course, these are facts and figures and data that have to be incorporated in the decision of the ECB.
Jean-Claude Trichet, all of that, as you say, is showing up in the data. Clearly, the data are indicating a slowdown, and as the forward indicators within the PMI certainly suggest, that is coming probably faster in Europe than it is in the United States. Is Europe, though, relying too much on monetary policy? Is Europe once again not looking to fiscal policy when it should? Is now the time to make that switch? Is monetary policy nearly done?
Well, first of all, I would say I'm not absolutely sure that the slowing down is largely superior in Europe to what it is in the US. I look again at the last PMI on manufacturing goods production, and there you see really slowing down in the US when you compare to the euro area as a whole, which are very much on the same magnitude. That being said, I share the view that the central banks cannot be the only game in town. And it is not normal that the other partners, governments, parliament, you mentioned fiscal policy, and also I would say all the other partners, including the private sector, including the social partners, the employees, the unions, the entrepreneurs, all of them have responsibility in the present abnormal situation on both sides of the Atlantic, but all over, frankly speaking, the advanced economy. So again, I expect that there will be some mobilization of those who have room for maneuvering and would permit to avoid the trap of being with an inflation which is much too low and cannot be eternally that low. In any case, it seems to me it's not a single entity problem, namely the central bank problem. It's a wider problem which puts in question all the responsibilities of the partners of all kinds in the advanced economy.